All right, it's showtime. Welcome, everyone. I am Laszlo, and today I'm going to do a little stream about commit signing and how signed commits can be verified in GitOps, in Flux especially. Now, I haven't done this and haven't done any of this before, so I don't really do commit signing, although it's supposed to be a very simple thing to do. I have a GitHub guide for it. And I also have something for Flux. So once I set up Flux and GitOps and it's syncing nicely to my cluster, I will be able to verify. Let me put my screen on the stream. So I will be able to verify my commits based on a GPG key, based on a public key. So that is sort of the end goal of this stream. So have Flux and have GitOps, and I put commits into the repository, and the signed ones are going to be deployed on the cluster, and the not signed ones gonna be not deployed on the cluster. How will that look? I have no idea. I expect there an error message. But first, I want to just set up commit signing because this is a practice that I don't really do, and I think that's way overdue that I actually start doing it. So if you type GitHub commit signing, there is going to be a guide on Google, and it's basically this one. So I'm actually going to scan through this and try to do the setup steps and so on. This is actually what we are after on GitHub. And I have seen this before. So if you make commits on the UI, this change is going to be signed by GitHub using my name and everything. So if I do this commit and look at the commit history, this one is verified. Now I don't have anything set up, but somehow the GitHub UI made sure that it's me, so it's verified. Yes, good. Now I want to just first reproduce this experience, making commits locally, and I push it and it's going to be verified. Also, it's very interesting, like who is the commit order? I think that's pretty funky and it's hackable. So if your commits are not verified, maybe I can impersonate someone rather easily. So maybe that's going to be the first step. But let's just pull in the changes. And so there are two commits. This one's from the UI and the other one is the first commit. And if you edit your git config, yes, git config, and you change these are actually going to be pushed to GitHub. And I think this email address is going to be, not verified at all. So I could write here, I don't know, my friend's email or somebody else. Now, who can I pick who will not be offended by this this prank? But yeah, I have no idea. Maybe my colleague Yusuf wouldn't mind. So I'm going to be fake Yusuf. Sorry, Yusuf. I'm going to clear this with you as soon as possible. But if I change it to fake Yusuf and yusuf@gimlet.io, and I make a change, and this is a fake identity, and I add it, and I make a commit. I push this to GitHub, and then I do a refresh. Look at this, people. This is serious stuff. Like, now the commit I made is put under my colleague's Yusuf's email address, which is, I hope I got your attention. So how can I prevent this? This is the first goal. So we are going to be able to sign commits by GPG or SSH. And I hate GPG. I always just copy around commands, and it's not too difficult, but it's it's not something handy that I do every day. And I have an SSH key, so yeah, let's see. Okay, what is this? Check for. Oh, you can use SSH to sign commits with SSH key. Let's use GPG because in the Flux documentation, in the verification configuration, I was seeing this reference, which says PGP, but I believe is GPG, just a typo. No idea, but let's figure it out. So check for existing GPG keys. Let's see what kind of keys I have. Yeah, I have one here. That's fair. But I want to generate a new one. Generating a new GPG key. So open terminal, done. Generate a GPG key pair. Let me just check back to the stream because I oftentimes forget to put myself on the screen or my screen, but it's there, so never mind. So back here, generate a GPG key pair. All right, all right. How about this one? Or versions? I hate this. So does it have a version command? No. Like this? Yes, and I have GPG 2227, which is this version. Okay. So I might expose here private keys. So that's why I'm actually using my dummy GitHub account. So I am logged in as Laszlo dummy, and hopefully I will not reveal anything major. Most likely I won't because there's nothing on this account. So let's just generate the key first. Select what kind of key. Default. I'm fine with that. Maybe go for... No, actually, I'm leaving the defaults everywhere because larger key sizes are usually better, but some libraries don't handle it and blah, blah, blah. So I think if I just stick to the defaults, I will have a better chance to succeed in this stream. So yes. Key expires in 1 day. That's fair. Is this correct? Yes. My real name is Laszlo Fogash. Email address is laszlo@github.io. Comment, just for streaming. Delete me, please, next time I see this. Okay. Oh, please enter the passphrase to protect your new key. Just a dummy password. Warning, you have entered an insecure passphrase. Enter new passphrase. Okay. So I have this key. Fair enough. What is next? At the prompt, specify the kind, the size, length of time. Okay, good. When asked to enter your email address, ensure that you enter the verified email address. Yes. I have no clue what's the verified email address for this user. So let me check. Account emails. So this is the email I should use. Back to square one. Generate key. Default. 1 day. correct comment. Delete me, please. Okay. Okay, let's list the keys. Yes, this is the key, and this is the digest or the hash of it. Good stuff. So where am I? Okay. I did this. Okay. Type a secure passphrase. I did that, and I listed the GPG key. Fine. I told you GPG is a bit more involved than just SSH key again. Copy the long form key ID you would like to use, which is, so this is this part. Again, this is not user-friendly. Sec. So it's, for me, it's this guy. This is the ID of the key. Let's make a note of this here. Okay, GPG armor export. So this is how I'm going to export the key. Good. Let me export it. And put it into a file. This is stream.gpg.pub. And I really hope this is the public key. Okay. It starts with begin public key block. So begin public key block. Good. So this is the public key. And then I'm going to add these to my GitHub account. Now I know that part. GPG keys, a new GPG key, and stream.gpg.pub. And I copy everything into here. Good stuff. So far, so good. Add the GPG key. Yeah, this is what I just did. Good. Tell Git about your signing key. Now I have the key, and now I have to configure my Git to use this key every time I make a commit. Open a terminal. Git config global unset. I'm good with that because I don't have anything set. So I unset everything. And then I'm going to use the, yeah, this is the listing part. Good. Okay. And this is the ID, basically, I copied earlier. So I'm going to do this git config global user signing key and the one with the 8B something something. No error message. This is to sign all commits by default. I believe these git configs might not be persistent, so my git config doesn't have these just by setting or calling this. So I think to make this persistent, I would have to edit this file and add a bunch of things. Yes, it's not part. So it's not persistent, but it's perfect for the stream. To add your GPG to your bash RC. Wow, what's this? Now I told you GPG is just cryptic. And you can guess how many times I'm going to say GPG in this stream. I am estimating around 130. I don't know what this does. but I'm going to run it. To add your GPG key to your bash RC startup file. Okay. So basically this will add it to the bash RC. I believe you. Telling Git about your SSH key. This is not the thing we are doing. So let's ignore this. We are not doing this key format either. Okay. Associate email with the GPG key. Why am I doing this? No. This is I believe my GPG is already associated with an email. It is associated in an email, I'm pretty sure. So I will just skip this part. Obviously, this is going to be an error when I look back at the stream, but I'm skipping this. Signing commits. Okay, I did this, I did that, blah, blah, blah. Okay, let me just make a commit. Seems to work. So my password is something like this, and I made a commit. Here it looks the same, and if I do git show head, okay, I'm still fake Yusef. This will not pass GitHub's verification. Just for the fun of it, I'm gonna push this git push origin main. And if I go to my repository, to dummy repo, yes, this is not a verified commit because I'm still fake Yusef. So let me fix my identity. So, signing key, wonderful. So I'm not fake Yusef, I could be a real Laszlo, but I will be just Laszlo Fogas, and then that's my email. No, it's not my email. Cancel, plus dummy. Okay. And nano readme for real. And now refresh here. This is a verified commit. And look, the fake identity was unverified. So I know how to make signed commits. Why is this cool? Is because the next thing is going to be I can enable something called vigilant mode. Let me find the link here. So about vigilant mode, basically, if I enable this on my account, nobody will be able to push fake commits under my name because I require that all of my commits should be signed. So settings, is it here? Oh, yes. This will include any commit attributed to your account. And these will be flagged. All right. And it saved it just by clicking. I hate the UX. Refresh. Yes. So let's see. commits. This is verified. How about I make another commit just for fun? README. And this one has the badge. And what if I don't sign my commit? So how do I turn it off? Where is the true part? GPG sign true. I set it to false. And if I make a change, let's see what GitHub says. Okay, this is fair enough. From here on, Laszlo dummy will be either verified or unverified, and people can make their judgments based on that. This is cool. So the first part of the stream was rather straightforward, and GitHub has a nice documentation on it. So that's good. Now, the second part is going to be about Flux and gitops. So I'm going to need a Kubernetes cluster. That's easy. I'm going to use K3D. It's going to take 15 seconds. I'm going to need a gitops environment with Flux. I think I'm just going to bootstrap a gitops environment with Gimlet, which is my tool. And I just use it every day because it's easier for me. But you can bootstrap a gitops environment with the Flux command line interface as well. I just know my own tool better. So I'm going to use Gimlet. And then I'm going to look at the Git repository descriptor, this YAML manifest, and I'm going to try to set this verify. And I'm going to set a secret, which I'm not yet sure how to, like here. So I'm going to export public keys again. So I have it already. Easy peasy. Good stuff. So I need a cluster. K3D cluster list. I don't have a cluster, so I'm using my regular cluster creation command, which is cluster create, cluster name, and I don't install the default ingress controller just because that's how I like it. All right. And I have a cluster that is empty and is starting up. Now to install Gimlet, it's gonna go to installation, and I'm going to just apply a Kubernetes manifest here. Good. I have Gimlet starting up. And here it tells me to just access it with port forward that I'm going to do. It is up. And this is the login screen. And I need an admin key. And the admin key, I know for a fact that is part of the logs. And it's also part of this installation material. So let me get the nodes. Yes. And then get the auth key, copy it over, and signing in. Good stuff. I have Gimlet, which has an environment created already. It's called Mighty Dream, and I'm going to connect my cluster to Gimlet. Basically, my cluster is going to be my Mighty Dream environment. Mighty Dream, it sounds a bit dodgy, but who cares? So let me connect to GitHub stuff. It installs Flux, and applies a bunch of YAML. This is the part which takes like 30, 40 seconds. And we should print more details, the information, like why are we staring at the screen. But it's on the list. All right, let's wait for the agent. It's there. The environment is connected. Cool stuff. And I want to look at the YAMLs as well. Now I could, if you're familiar with Flux, you can query all kinds of resources. It has 2 Git repositories associated and so on. But if you're not, just know that there are some custom resources in Kubernetes which describe Git repository access details, like this Git repository. And I'm going to edit this in Git. And once I edit it in Git, it will be synchronized to the cluster. And then, that's GitOps. There's just one more setup step I need to do, because right now all this configuration is inside Gimlet in like a built-in Git repository, which is not very useful, only if you just want to quickly deploy things. Let me just integrate GitHub as well. What's this stream? And I'm going to just allow just a single repository. So I don't give access to everything, just this Express.js test application, but it's not that important. The reason I connected Git, because I want to spin this internal Git environment into like a real GitOps environment. So now these Git repositories are created inside GitHub. So that was my main goal here, that now this is where you can find the Git YAMLs. So what kind of Git YAMLs you can find? You can see the Gimlet agent YAML if you want to, but we care more about the Git connection. So I promised you that I'm going to work with something called Git repository. So this is a Kubernetes YAML. Maybe I move it to here. No, yes. So this is a Kubernetes YAML of kind Git repository, which describes a Git repository URL and a deploy key, which it uses to fetch the latest stuff every 15 seconds. This is not good for the environment for sure, but this is the default, that it goes out and asks for new commits every 15 seconds. And Flux and the Git repository specification or reference has a verification part, which this is the things that I need to add. So somehow under spec, same depth as the other guys, I need to add verify mode head. This is the only mode. That's what I read. Only supports head at the moment. And I'm going to reference a secret. So what I'm going to do first is that I add some dummy configuration and I want it to fail. I want to see it to show me an error message, just so I can be really happy when it actually works. So let me, should I clone it? Yes, I should clone it. I will clone this. Cloning the GitOps Mighty Dream infra into my delete me folder. And I'm gonna enter into this repo and opening this file. And Maybe first I just make a dummy change, so you believe me that this is actually gitops. So I just change the interval to 20, and if I do a git status, git diff, yes, and the git commit. This is going to be, and I also want to sign it. So let me enable the things. What was the command? Maybe I'm going to work in the bottom terminal, because all the settings I prepared, I believe it's just for this terminal session. So let me go to gitops, and let me actually clear everything from here. All right, and set the signing to true, and I changed it to 20. Changing gitops sync interval. Oh crap! And this is the password. So I'm signing my commits, and I push to main. If I refresh this, I will see a verified commit, the first one. And if I'm gonna get Git repositories in all namespaces and I'm gonna watch them, soon the status is going to be changed, and the latest commit reference will be used. So what I'm looking at, infra has this commit hash 129.5, which is actually the latest one. So the Git repository is looking at the latest one, and yeah, a few status updates here. But the Git repo is seeing my commit, and if I describe, let me enter this namespace. If I describe the Git repository, which is called built-in infra, wow, the interval, the synchronization interval is 20 already. So everything is updated from Git. Now I'm going to break this, because I will require commit verification based on a non-existing key. So please verify my head using this secret. What will happen? So first, it's going to be a bit of an inception, because first, GitOps is going to deploy this change, and then in the next iteration, when it next time wants to pull in a commit, then it's going to use the new configuration. So I believe I have to push 2 commits. First, let's do the enforce. So first, it's going to this is the other repo. And I don't need Gimlet. Goodbye. I have my GitOps repo, and I can work with kubectl from here on. So let me close that window. All right. So this commit, which is verified, made a config change to the GitOps configuration that I'm going to need to verify all the commits. And in like a minute or so, this change is going to be reflected. So it's looking at the FBA commit, which is the latest one, FBA 1.4. Good. So the Git repository is of the latest version, and actually there is one more entity or one more resource in Flux, and that is called the customization. That is sort of a kubectl apply on your cluster, and it's already been applied. So FBA 14 is applied on the cluster. So if I describe again the Git repository, it should have the new configuration, and somewhere it should show that. Okay, so the verify mode had secret ref, blah, blah, blah. All right. And this is the part where I'm not sure what to expect. But when the verification succeeds, the controller adds a condition with the following attributes to status conditions. Source verified condition. Let's look at it. Conditions. Artifact in storage. And then the ready condition. So let's push this other commit I was telling you about that I'm going to need to push. Let's make things quick. So ideally, I would like my Git repository to error out here because it cannot really verify the commit. And Flux is telling me that it's going to put a condition on the Git repository, but I actually don't know what this means. Like, will it halt the GitOps apply? Because that is sort of my goal here. Like, if I'm in a production setup and I'm pulling in commits from Git and I want to verify the signature, I want to only deploy commits that I am certain about, not some random guys getting access to my Git repository and deploying or pushing manifests of a Bitcoin miner. No, I want to skip those commits, and I want the Git repository to tell me like, hey, this commit is not verified according to my reference. And that's the goal. And I'm not sure if that's going to be happening, but let's see. So after the long talk, let's get the Git repositories. False. PGP, public key secret error. This is good. I got an error and the error is specific. Kudos, Flux people. I love this. I just don't know what's the difference between PGP and GPG. That's GPG, PGP. Okay. Required cookies only. PGP, pretty good privacy. Okay, PGP is proprietary by Symantec, and GPG is GNU-PG, an open source. Virtually identical. I don't care too much about this anymore then. So this was not a typo. My bad. This is legit. All right. This stream is going to be quick. In less than an hour, we're going to be able to verify GitOps commits. So let me do the final part where I add the secret. I'm going to create the secret by hand, but also in GitOps. So PGP secret YAML. It's a secret. And I actually like namespace should be the Flux system, I think. I actually don't like this base64 encoded stuff. I like string data. Let me search for Kubernetes secret string data. Like this for humans. Okay, so all the orders that are allowed to commit. So with Gimlet, this would be Gimlet, like Gimlet's key. And then it would be like a cluster administrator. So maybe like 2 people is able to push commits to GitOps. Developers will not be able to push commits. Maybe they are able to read stuff. But let me do this. So it's not the right thing. Sorry. So verification, secret example, exporting armored public keys using GPG. Okay. Let me do my usual command. Okay, this is the same command, just a different order. So, yep, this is absolutely the same thing, and I have it already exported. So let me copy this guy over here. And line breaks. That's always the catch with Kubernetes secrets, but with this YAML, I don't know what it's called. It's a multi-line string. All other one's public key is here. And if I add this to Kubernetes by hand first, where is it? It's in Flux. So kubectl apply f flux and secret. All right. So my secret is there, and I should trigger somehow the Git repository sync. It's still false. Let's wait 10 more seconds. Maybe it will retry, because of the interval was set to 10 seconds. Otherwise, I'm gonna do a nasty kick. Okay, 10 seconds passed, so it will not retry. So Flux people could do like a Flux reconcile command, but instead I'm gonna I'm going to delete the pod, or maybe do rollout restart deploy / source controller. This is the controller that's looking at this Git repository and keeps on checking the Git and GitHub. So if I restart this and the pod is running, I should see this Git repository synchronized. Brilliant. So, and if I describe it, Git repository built-in infra, here, source verified succeeded. There's nothing else I can say. I can only just repeat myself, which I'm going to do just for recap. But basically, I think I've done everything I was set out to do. So, okay. So what did we do? First, I used my dummy Git account. I signed commits manually, but before that, I did a very nasty thing. I impersonated someone, and that was my colleague, Yusuf, but I could impersonate really anybody on GitHub. If I know an email address, I can impersonate everyone. So that's why people should sign their commits, and that's why they should turn on this vigilant mode, because this one was not made by Yusuf. Even though the Git, is there a raw Git view file? No. Maybe there's a way to show the raw commit, but I don't know how to. Anyways, I impersonated someone. That's bad. So everybody should turn on vigilant mode and use a GPG key or an SSH key for commit signing. Then I bootstrapped a gitops / Gimlet environment with Flux and everything. And I used Flux's verify configuration, which was very straightforward. Just referencing a secret. And every time there was a commit that was signed by the right people, it got some metadata, but also things were synchronized. And when I was faking things were just erroring out on the Git repository level, which is double thumbs up. That's really increasing security. So if your Git account gets compromised and somebody is able to push a commit somehow, but your GPG key or PGP key is not compromised, then even though they try to deploy something with GitOps, they won't be able to, because Flux is going to tell the world, like, I cannot do anything about this. So this was easier than I thought. Let me look at StreamYard if I have any comments or questions, but obviously I don't. So next time around, you guys can ask questions on Discord. I have a Gimlet Discord and Twitter or YouTube as well. And if I miss anything, I will answer on the next stream. And this was today, and I'm planning to do a stream on next Monday as well. At that point, we are going to hack some Helm charts and marketplace stuff for Civil Marketplace. I'm gonna install Gimlet on the Civil Marketplace and just gonna stream how I go about it. So thank you very much for today. Take care. See you.